Good afternoon there, traders and potential traders. This is Nuke coming at you with a market recap. I shut it down for the day. It is currently 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's going to be, what is that? I don't know, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for you guys following the market time zone. All right, we're going to break this down. I've got, let's see, 3 tickers I'm going to review. AMD, Apple, and MU. The rest of them just didn't set up for me the way that I wanted them. And I'm going to share a little bit with you on what I saw today. So the first of all, we're going to just cover the SPY, right? Today was one of those interesting days where I couldn't really get a good read on the SPY from just none of the lines and stuff that I had really was making too much damn sense. I just couldn't get a handle on it, right? So it started to set up a little bit better. I drew me a trend line from here to here, and that projected out. And then I had a trend line from the top of this one, but I didn't really have anything that made sense until after we put in this second higher high. So I drew a trend line from there. And then pre-market, I put a trend line from here to the first higher high after that popped up. And it just really, it wasn't working, you know, until we got to this point of the day. And bam, she dropped out. She got below this support line, then tried to come back up. So it looks like it's channel trading a little bit, but I was done. The good news is, you know, like when you look at this really close, you know, in hindsight, we did get some good respect here. He had some good respect here. But all in all, it was a pretty rough day to judge it. The timing was off. Just couldn't get like dialed in. All right, let's go ahead and move over to AMD. Come on, why aren't we working? There we go. AMD, my darling, that does not do me right most days. So I had some pretty wild stuff. Go ahead and ignore these. All right, guys, sorry about that. That was a phone call from the VA, so I had to take it. Anywho, AMD, yeah, I had a support line from the other day, but I didn't have a resistance line that made sense. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in nice and tight here. And you can see it was following this wedge that I had made pre-market, and then it finally broke out, missed the entry point. And then what happened is I missed this too. And I got in at the bottom of this, figuring it was going to bounce on the pre-market high a day. It did. I got out way too soon. Missed the top tick on this. She came down again. When it put in this lower high, I went ahead and marked me a line here. And then missed the entry on the way up. And she just broke out. I wasn't ready for her. And then, like I said, I was waiting on the retest and the reject. It didn't come down. It just kind of kept going up. So I was, at this point, I was thinking short it. So I tried to enter a short position. She came down a little bit, and I wanted to give it room to prove me a little room to move, which it was only, you know, it really wasn't far. But I was trying to play this off of this pre-existing trend line up here, and I thought it had more resistance than it did. So I just missed it, and I just left it alone after that. And then you can see how well it was respecting the fibs. I mean, it was spot on with the fibs all day. And then what happened is I missed this one, man. This was just the miss of the day. And she started going without me. Came up here to the 200 plus mark. When it pulled back, it was dead on balls with the fibs. And then when it broke one more above that, and it kind of petered around, when this one opened green, I'm sorry, right here, I knew I was going to take it, so I shot it. This candle opened green. I stuck with it. I thought I was going to lose it here, but I went ahead and held on anyway. It did. It bounced off the 20, so I was still in the green, so I stuck it out and just rode this thing up like a pony. And then when she got all the way up here, I knew I wasn't getting into dangerous territory because we're in the 400 percentile or 400% fib extensions. So we were top ticking this, but we were getting a lot of wicks. It still was in the money, so my plan was to get out if it breached here to the 300%, and it had one more bounce in it. And what happened, because of when we had tested here, as soon as it hit this fib and got a little bit above it, I didn't catch the top of that, but as it was coming back down, I was able to get out and catch a little bit of that salvage. Just got out as soon as I could, you know. I seen it going up and I just hit the button anyway. Figured it was coming down, didn't bother to play the short. But what I wanted to show you guys is look here at how it respected that trend line. And then you could have got this confirmation when it set in this lower high that this was short territory if you had wanted to short it. And then where would that have, well, actually, you could bring it out here. Get in your shorts, and you can see where that would have held solid. Yeah, we're breaking a little bit above it now, but anyway, I just didn't feel comfortable playing it. I got out with what I had. Base hits, it wasn't a lot of range of motion today. Just, you know, capitalizing on what you can and not beating yourself up for missing it. All right, next one up is going to be Apple. Let's see. I hate the charting on Apple. Mine's still screwed up, and the markings don't always transfer through. Apple just was kind of all over the place where it comes to the trend lines and stuff. And you can see what I marked out earlier, and then this one just didn't work out. It did for the short part, but like it didn't have any future follow through. I just quit fooling with Apple. It did kind of want to stay above this trend line, which that was drawn from here and then an earlier mark that was higher. So on a long-term trend, yeah, it was holding good. And then it's kind of petered around this line here. But took it for two little victories. Nothing major. But the charting, you know, you can see the fibs, they're holding up really accurate. Just one of those days where it was hard to get a good entry point. I feel like I overtraded my ass off. Took three little trades, nothing major, but at least they stayed green, you know. Not enough to really say that I'm doing much with it, but I'll take what I can get. All right, can't be greedy. I guess that's the takeaway from there. And the next one, this was just sad. I took a little swing at it. I thought it was going to do something, and it decided it wasn't. Didn't really even have much other than this, you know, from the other day. The charts wasn't really setting up the greatest, and I took one little in here. What I was going for is it rose up, and it broke out of the pre-market action. It came to the 50 percentile, broke that a little bit, came back down slightly below, bounced off the 50 EMA. All of the EMAs were in line, green, yellow, orange, red. We were well above the VWAP. So when it tested this fib here, I was looking at this one. And my goal was the SPY looked like it was going to break out and go somewhere. So this came back down, tested the 9 EMA. I entered at the just shy of the fib here with the intent of taking this thing up. I was expecting it was going to go parabolic at this point, maybe test up into the 200, and it just petered out. It didn't have the guts to do it. So I just quit fooling with it. Wasn't a red trade, but it damn sure wasn't a successful one. You know, 3 cents. Woo! But at least I got out without taking the loss on it. And you can see it kind of had a little more proliferation later on. But then, you know, I wasn't feeling it. You know, it rejected that pre-market high a day. Yeah, you could have shorted it down. I wasn't feeling it. There were other things to do, and I had already had enough, I wouldn't say misses, but just things were petering out. Didn't get the range of motion was expected. And that's what I've got for the recap, guys. Hopefully this is right at the 10-minute mark. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave me some comments, let me know what you think. I know it's seizure city, guys. I know it's seizure city. On this end, it's a lot more clear. When y'all see me trading, or while I'm trading, if you're not tuned in with me, um, it's a lot more zoomed in like this, so it doesn't really attack your eyes so bad. But I understand some of you looking on different screen resolutions, it may look crazy. So forgive me. I apologize if it doesn't look good to you on your screen. And I know it's a lot of lines, but it works for me. All right, guys, that's it. Have a good one. I'll see you all tomorrow.